Oh,
The
ooh.
barber.
Oh, it's so
Oh,
bad. It's
look
Honestly,
at
so
that.
bad.
it could be worse though. Like it's decent damage range, decent in and decent secondary. I'm just gonna keep the mana regen and put like area damage or damage percent on that bitch.
I think resource cost is probably better than mana regen, right?
Oh, maybe.
Look at that though. That's pretty dope looking. Boom.
Like it's
I'm gonna try.
disgustingly better than like I have this and I can roll attack or damage percent on that as well, and it's still not gonna be better than this thing.
Oh, look at that. Do you see that the primals now have two brackets around them
Yeah.
on the text down there? That's
Uh-huh.
interesting. That's
God.
interesting.
So mana or resource? That's a tough one.
Wow, fake ones are still, they don't, it's still blue.
The bear is up here
I
re-rolling
think
his
I'd keep
primal
RCR.
barber.
I,
We're
I,
gonna
I
be
honestly don't
going.
know.
We're gonna be going into the rift here, fellas, to test out the barber, see if it's back. Troops here to help us this time too.
Oh, should I
I
do
don't
my
know where
barb?
he is, but
I
he's in here.
legitimately don't know. Like, probably keep the mana regen.
How much are your spells? It's pretty easy to figure out, right? Like how many spells do you have to cast in what amount of time?
Well, pest like locust swarm's gonna be the biggest one.
How much?
But I mean, I have to use tribal or rush of essence on this build.
They're probably about the same, honestly. So do whatever you want.
The primal
Gonna
barber is a giant piece of shit, and yet it's still better than a perfectly rolled ancient one. I love it.
So, let's recap what we've been discussing here, fellas. We've been talking about this primal, and if you check out the blog post on tsloot.com, I already put up there that the primal range for the weapon range damage is about 20% higher, and your stats are going to be about 30% higher. So, what Bear's saying is he got a really shit primal, and it's still better than a perfectly rolled ancient, just because that damage range is so much higher, and the stats he's getting from it. So let me pull it up here again. This is the primal one that he got. As you can see here, it's got resource cost reduction and mana regen on it. It's 246 on the secondary, but because the damage range up here is so much higher, and I mean, you're getting what, almost 300 more intelligence out of that, Bear?
Yeah.
1241.
Versus the perfectly rolled barber, it's an 8.8% damage increase versus the perfectly rolled barber.
Okay, so this perfectly rolled barber has 7 attack speed on it, 250 for the secondary, 940 intelligence, and the damage range is 16 to 21 about. So even though this one's perfect, that primal one is still an 8% damage increase, which is just pretty crazy. Now, if they actually fix the barber like we had been talking about before season 9 went live, this next season is going to be pretty interesting. So as soon as he's done rolling that, we're going to jump in the rift and check it out. Some other things to note here that we've been talking about today, I did a shorter video on it, is the armory here. We are hearing some things that aren't possibly functioning properly. Troop, do you want to elaborate on that hardcore issue?
Yeah, okay. It seems like on hardcore, if you have multiple sets saved in the armory, when you die, it will wipe out all of the sets that are saved to that character, even though you were only wearing one. So we're not sure if that's intended or not, but it's pretty brutal if that's the case.
So yeah, that's scary. Hopefully they fix that. Also, Troop was addressing there's an issue going on with mantras, timing on what, a whole bunch of things, right? What was the other stuff you were saying?
The forum's sort of exploding with that right now, but there's a lot of different posts. Sentry counters are missing. The Archon stacks are missing. Monk mantras, Satyr, Faithful Memory stacks. Basically, every important buff you'd like to keep track of while you're playing is not showing up in the game, making it pretty difficult.
I have 3 mantras here right now, but you know. Oh,
Yeah, it seems some of them come and go. Like they just
okay.
don't want to be a part of the game.
All right. Well, we can work with that. So our big thing here is testing out the barber to see if there is still hope for the return of the barber in season 10.
They added
From what it looks,
the damage bonus back onto it.
okay, so the damage bonus is back, and that's why we're thinking it may be fixed. So, what are you doing on your Stater?
Getting a gem. I have a 120 gem that I want to hog.
Oh my god! All right,
We're doing this right.
We're gonna
I
do it
noticed a
right.
cool
We're doing it
feature
right,
here,
fellas. What's
with
the
the
cool
armory,
feature?
when you set your
Okay.
build, you can
Right.
you can save it. You can type in a new name for it. Although it's very limited. It's like what?
Right.
15 characters. They need to increase that.
It's very
Probably
small.
to 50.
Mine. Yeah, mine's called Heels Bills because I wanted to put heels to pay the bills, but I couldn't. So it's Heels Bills. Kind of looks like Hillbilly, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I was thinking more appropriately. For me, I have like 5 different pull bar builds where I switch gems, I switch sprint, I switch my passives. If I could neatly label those and be like, this is the one that has this, this, and this, and I could just cycle through them. Right now, it's pretty hard to fit all that in the text and have it make sense. So they're gonna. I hope they increase that text length. But what's cool is if you put your gems in, it's really easy. You just take off one piece and then hit the equip button again after it's already saved, and it'll automatically upgrade all the gems you're wearing. So that's really cool. You don't have to hunt around for the right ones.
That's nice. And people were asking questions about the cube and your skills, and that all switches depending on what you save, the gear and the skills that you have, right? Like
everything.
If you,
everything switches.
Yeah,
over.
everything switches. So that should be an improvement. You know, what do they call it? Quality of life improvement for the game in general. The name thing, I thought that too. That's pretty small, but I guess what I'd just start labeling things as like what gems are in it, right? Like Frozen or Ice Blink or whatever you're putting in there. Something. I don't know. You can just do Barb 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just remember which one's what.
Have a good memory.
Yeah, have a good memory.
I'm old, man. Some of us need words.
Yeah, I hear that too.
One thing that doesn't work though, and I find this a little frustrating. I have a Stricken that's 100 gem on my other character. It doesn't pull gems from other characters if they're wearing them, and I think that's a little silly. I mean, if you're gonna go this whole armory route, that's swapping gear into your armory, it's kind of frustrating that you'd have to switch characters to go get the Stricken to put it in the stash to have it pull out automatically.
Well,
like,
would you just then keep all gems in your stash at all times? So when you switch to that character and put that gear in, it pulls it from the stash.
That's what you're gonna have to do. But that means every time you leave your character, you have to put the gem in the stash, which is what you should do now. I mean, I do that now anyway, but that doesn't.
Right.
There's no quality of life improvement there then.
True.
If I could have my 100 Gogok say just swap between all characters at the click of a button when I switch to that character, that'd be great.
Okay. Well, one thing at a time here. I mean, it is Diablo. It's not a.
This is huge. It's great.
Yeah, this is big. Yes, this is big. But I was gonna say it's never been a instantaneous gratification kind of thing, you know?
Death's Breath. It seems like, Primal Ancients have a 1% chance of dropping.
Okay, so yeah, let's make note of that. Primals do seem to be about a 1 in 100 chance, and you have to re-roll an already ancient item, right? To get that?
No? I was just upgrading rares. I upgraded 400 rare ceremonial knives, and I got 4 out of 400.
Okay.
I actually upgraded 420 and got 4, so yeah, 1%.
About 1 in 100.
Yeah, 1 in 100.
Yeah, I did 1 in 100 as well for those dagger.
And you got, those are all primals, right? So out of 400, you got 4 primals. And they were all pretty shit.
You can link my Primal Ancient Pig sticker that's terrible.
I have it pulled up right now. So out of all those you upgraded, you got 4 primals out of 400?
Yeah. Total today, I got 4 out of 400 for the upgrading Death's Breath, and it took roughly 300 bounty mats to get a primal barber.
Okay. Okay.
And
And
now
treat
that I'm
speed 1
thinking
to
about
100.
it, I'm pretty sure 10% on a primal is necessary because that's a big increase since it's such
Right.
a high damage range. Like, I'm pretty sure it's going to be more worth than 24 area damage. So.
Hey fellas, if you like that video, don't forget to check out the ones at the links above for some more trade secrets. And while you're at it, drop a like and subscribe.